Welcome to your video about how to make note cards on internet sources. I'm going to show you two types of internet sources today, one with an author and one without an author. So remember, when you're getting your note cards set up, some things always stay the same. You put your last name and first initial over here. And then over here, we need to put our source's name. The first one I'm going to show you doesn't have an author. It comes from the History Channel website. Again, remember that the name that shows up here needs to match the first part of the entry on your Works Cited page. So I come over here, there was no author, so I just jumped right into the title of the website article, which means that this is also my source name. When I do an in-text citation, I'm going to use this in the parentheses in my paper. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on. So up here, I want to put it in quotation marks because you remember that internet articles have to go in quotation marks in our in-text citations. And then remember, we first put our topic. That always stays the same. And then we want to put our subtopic. So again, I'm continuing my research on increased crime rates. And here I have my information. So it says, in addition, the Prohibition era encouraged the rise of criminal activity associated with bootlegging. The most notorious example was the Chicago gangster Al Capone, who earned a staggering $60 million annually from bootleg operations and his speakeasies. So again, remember, we just summarize. We write only one note per card, and we're just going to paraphrase that information. So here I would just write Al Capone equals 60 million. There you go. There's not going to be a page number because there's no page in an internet citation. Remember, one note per card. It's going to make it way easier for you to sort them out later when it comes time to sort out by your outline. All right, the next source that I'm going to pull from has an author. It's my PBS source that I have here. And on the last page, at the very end, is where I found my author's name. So I've got to go ahead and set up this note card again. Okay, remember, source name goes over in this corner. That needs to match what shows up on the Works Cited page. So I come over here. Learner is the last thing that shows up, so that's what's going to go in as my source name up in the upper corner here. Okay, and now I've got to go ahead and fill in my topic. And my subtopic for this one is going to be increased drinking rates. All right, so here's what I found. Ironically, the greatest unintended consequence of prohibition, however, was the plainest to see. For over a decade, the law was meant to foster temperance instead of it fostered intemperance and excess. So temperance is not drinking alcohol. The solution the United States had devised to address the problem of alcohol abuse had instead made the problem even worse. So that's something good for my paper. So then I would write fostered excessive drinking instead of decreasing drinking. Okay, there's no page number down here because it's an internet source. Notice how this isn't even a complete sentence, it's just a phrase. Again, this keeps me from plagiarizing accidentally in my paper. So even though I haven't copied it out of it word for word and I've paraphrased it, you still are going to have to cite it in your paper with an in-text citation. So this is just setting you up to be successful for that. So there you have it. That's how you write a note card for internet sources that have authors and internet sources that don't have authors.